Hey, 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 beautiful people. Happy Sunday. Okay, I need my computer to catch up so I can see the chat and do my amazing mic check that I always do. Okay. Whew, happy Sunday. The rain is making today horrible. And it's like a consistent rain, and it's been raining all morning so far. I thought today was mostly going to be like an overcast, but no, it's going to be a rainy day. Yesterday was mostly overcast. So it always just changed like the mood of the weekend. It just makes it very like just want to sit in the house, chill, not do much. So it's honestly a great day for juicing because I ain't got nowhere to be. If y'all notice today, so today we're talking about two things. Remember, we're talking about protein, so things to eat for breakfast. That's what I want to focus on first because I feel like nutrition. There's so much we could talk about with nutrition. So I at least want to hit breakfast and then, I'll start working my way down. Like, so I'll do breakfast, lunch, dinner, I'll hit snacks, but not all today. Today's just going to focus on breakfast, different ideas, what I eat for breakfast, and then we're still going to juice. Um, I've been feeling very bloated, very inflamed, and I think it's more so from my digestion. So, a goal of mine this month is to lower my sugar intake. Let me make sure I don't get interrupted. Okay. So my goal for August is to change my sugar intake. So let's see, at best, I don't eat any sugar, like refined sugar, but at worst, I'm allowed to eat one thing once a week. And if I miss that day, it's done. So I have to lower my sugar. I've tried everything else with my inflammation, and I just think at this point, I just got to figure out sugar. I was hoping I had to take that out because I already have to wash my gluten, my dairy. I'm like, geez, y'all the sugar. But I do know that sugar, does have a big role between salt and sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the sacrifice. I'm gonna try to see if I pull back on sugar, what that would do. So today, what I am gonna juice is mostly veggies. The only fruit I have up here is Granny Smith apples, and that's to kind of like give the drink a little hint of something, especially when you're using a lot of veggies. But first, we're gonna talk about protein. So hold on, put that in the chat. Sorry if you hear all the clicking and clacking because my mic is right here. And I'm gonna pin this. Okay, so I'm gonna start talking to y'all about breakfast because a lot of y'all don't know how to eat breakfast right. And what I mean by that is when y'all trying to reach certain goals, you have to make sure you're getting protein in a lot of y'all meals. And I know because breakfast, we're either rushing to get the kids to school, we're trying to get to work, we woke up late. I get it. So I feel like breakfast gets neglected the most. So what I did want to talk to y'all about are some quick ways to get your protein in, or some good ways to get your protein. May not all be quick, but some good ideas for breakfast. I think that's the one thing I get asked the most about because protein, out of all your macros, protein, well, they all important, but protein plays the most important role as far as like if you're trying to, grow muscle, you're trying to maintain. So we got to make sure we're getting that protein in. So I'm going to help y'all understand what y'all need to consume to get your protein. And today we're going to start with breakfast. So I want to show y'all one of my go-tos right here. Because y'all know I keep it balanced. I don't do the whole no taste stuff. It still needs to taste good for me to eat it. I'm not like these other fitness personnel out there who feel like y'all got to eat grass and no seasoning. No, we try to live life. So we gonna eat what tastes good. So if y'all like to eat regular pancakes, like y'all know they changed the name. It's now called Pearl Milling. Hey Jacob, what's going on? Thanks for engaging with the chat. So I end up seeing one day I saw the protein buttermilk pearl millings, and I was like, okay, let me see what this really tastes like because as y'all know, a lot of things that are supposed to be healthy for us are high in protein never really taste that good, right? Um, and I used to try to do the soy and the whey and all that, whatever protein shakes, and it just didn't work. I hate the taste. So I ended up wasting a lot of my money at GNC and like other places trying to get protein. So I try to find ways where it still tastes good and I'm able to get a good breakfast in. And these also don't take long to cook at all. I can cook my breakfast probably in about 10 minutes total. Um, you just gotta know the order to do it and keep it moving. So, pearl milling. Let me give y'all the breakdown of this versus other pancakes, or I'll just say the hey Gib, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Thank you for engaging. I'm gonna give y'all the difference between the protein version of this versus the regular mix, and I think you'll like this one better just because the benefit, but it all depends on what you're looking for. So with the protein pancake, this one does offer it is 210 calories. Okay. So the difference between this one and the original kind is the other kind only is 160 calories. But let me finish, y'all. Once I get to the end of my breakfast, you'll see that the calories still work out even with this. Because we got to remember, we're trying to focus on protein. So we still want to look at calories, sodium, and protein, but right now, we're really focused on protein. That's what a lot of people struggle with. But I'm gonna show y'all how it still balances out. So right now, this gives 50 calories more than the regular pancake mix, the other version of this. Sodium is 570 for this one, and for the other one, 490. So once again, we're a little higher in the sodium category. Carbs, they're both the same at 32 grams. Sugar, there's a little more sugar in this kind. This is 9 grams, which includes 7 grams. And the other non protein pancake mix is 5 grams with 4 grams added. But the difference is, once again, we're talking about protein. When we get to the protein, this offers 15 grams of protein. And y'all see, as big as they on the bag, 15 grams of protein, where a regular thing of pancake is only 5 grams. So you're not getting as much protein. And then one of what I found interesting too, we have to look at serving size. So even though this provided more calories, when you look at the serving size, you can do half a cup of this one, but regular pancake mix came out to being about 1/3. So you're actually getting less pancake, which is probably why the calories are less. Because if we matched them up and we made the other pancake batter, the regular pancake batter, and we made that half a cup, I'm pretty sure it would equal out to almost the same amount of calories, same amount of sodium, and yet you're still not getting as much protein. So when it comes to protein, this is what I like to use, or this is what I started eating. I've been eating this now for about, I'll say 2 weeks now, and I actually enjoy it. It doesn't take long to cook. It does break apart kind of easily, which that's one thing I don't like. Um, and it has more of like that. It's more of a wheat color when you actually cook it down. Like when you actually cook the other pancakes, they normally come like a little fluffier, lighter color. But I feel like you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference. What are you talking about? Um, anyway, so but the big thing I saw that was different was 60% less fat and 70% less sodium. So this does have its, benefits over regular pancake mix, which I like. Um, so then another thing I like to eat with, I don't speak emoji. So suited, just say what you're trying to say. Say it with your chest. Um, The next thing I like to eat is eggs. I think a lot of people normally go for eggs, which is actually a pretty good thing. They're quick, they're easy. Eggs give you about 6 grams of protein, and the calories are 72. And then also, normally you're going to pick a typical protein, which would be a meat, right? So bacon, sausage, something like that. No, I don't speak emoji. What was I gonna say? So I like to do turkey bacon. So I did a comparison between turkey bacon versus like I think it was like a smoked pork bacon or whatever. So the calories for turkey bacon was 30. For the other, it was 90. Fat was 2 grams with turkey bacon. For the other, it was 7 grams. Sodium was 70 with turkey bacon. Um, and you know what, y'all? That's what I meant to talk about when I said 60 and 70% less fat and sodium. It was for the bacon, not the pancakes. Um, but protein is where it's different between the other pork like bacon and turkey. Is you get 2 grams of protein for turkey bacon, 7 grams for other. Um, so the biggest difference would be the sodium in the turkey bacon. That's like your biggest difference. Because you got I think 170, one's 350. So that's where the 70% less sodium comes in and the 60% less fat. Um, so when we look at what my breakfast kind of composes of, which is pancakes, turkey bacon, and eggs, that came out to being 414 calories, which is actually pretty good. And that still gave me some wiggle room, and that's with me doing um, 2 pieces of bacon and 2 eggs. And that came out to 414 calories and then 31 grams of protein. So that's pretty good, right? Most people consume on average like 5 to 10 grams of protein, and that normally comes from like eating toast, cereal. We always try to go for what's quick and easy. Um, but the good thing, the reason why you want to be between that 20 and 30, or if you can get a little more in, depending on your size, it promotes muscle maintenance and actual growth. Um, it makes you feel fuller longer. As y'all know, certain food items when you eat them, it's like sushi, for instance. I feel like anytime I eat that, like 5 minutes later, I'm back to being hungry. So, and then it also helps control your blood sugar levels. So, protein has a lot of important roles to it. Um, it's not all about just getting the muscle gains, but yeah, for feeling staying full, should I say? I think that's a problem for a lot of people. That's the reason why we consume so many calories, is because we're never full. So if you're getting your protein in, you can feel full a little longer. 20 grams per meal. Yes, Gib. Yes. So you want to get 20 to 30 per meal. Because really, I think when you look up protein based off of your body type, I want to say it's anywhere between zero point 0.7 and 1.2 grams per pound. So really, like for me, it would be 120 at least grams I would want to get. Um, but if I'm able to get at least 30 grams per meal, that's 90. And then any snacks, that should help me get that extra 30. So that's why I try to tell people you have to be intentional about making sure you're getting your protein in every meal and snacks. So that's why I say you have to ask yourself, how much protein is this giving me? If it's not giving you enough protein, and I say on average for your snacks, you at least want to be able to get at least 10 grams of protein. Like if you're eating a bag of chips and stuff like that, that's not, you have to think, is this providing me any greatness other than taste in the macro area? So when it comes to carbs, healthy fat, and protein, does it fit anywhere in there? And if it doesn't, you're just wasting your calories. And I know there are days where that's fine. It's fine to waste calories sometimes. I mean, we have our moments where we just want to be happy. But I just want to give y'all the tip of like, yeah, you want to get anywhere between 20 and 30 grams per meal. Um, and that's just based off of size too. It might be more the bigger you are. That's just to give a general idea, especially for my ladies. But yeah, the bigger you are, you're gonna definitely need more protein. But that's just to give at least some type of number to give some type of guidance and aid. But protein is the hardest for anybody to get because a lot of our snacks don't have that. So I think it's just hard for us to maintain our protein. And I'm guilty of it too. There's are times where I don't necessarily always think about, does this give me protein? I'm more so looking at taste, um, and just what I desire, you know what I'm saying? What I have a craving for. So yeah. So I just want to light y'all with the protein pancake mix. It actually isn't that bad. Now, it is more expensive than the regular that's a challenge. It is, right? Um this is a little more expensive. That's also I think another like con of trying to get more protein in is getting protein in is expensive. Like protein bars, if just anything with a lot of protein normally costs a lot more money. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I ain't even say a lot more. More money. I ain't that's a double was that a double positive? But so that I think this cost and this was on sale. I think normally this costs $6.99. So you gotta think that's $7 for pancake batter. And then at that it only says 10 servings. So you know, for one person, this probably is pretty good to get you through a good week, week and a half. Because if you're just doing one pancake, um, it says serving size is approximately two 4-inch pancakes. So you can do two pancakes, but like if you got a family to feed, I can definitely understand why you might look at this and say, I'm not gonna spend more money and get less servings, but that's the difference is you're getting that protein. For a regular thing of pancake mix with lower protein, so the 5 gram protein mix, I think it had 20 servings. So yeah, I could definitely understand if you're a bigger family that this may not be ideal for you. But if money isn't an issue, I definitely would just give it a try. Don't knock it till you try it. At first, I was like, oh, I don't know because like yesterday, for example, I changed. Y'all being cheap. I wanted to get some crackers because I am trying to change coming off of sugar. So I thought, okay, I can give me some crackers. So me being cheap, I went with the instead of getting my Ritz crackers, I went with the Kroger brand. Y'all, no, no. Sometimes it don't help to skimp out. Just pay the extra dollar or two because yeah, now I gotta go back and get the regular crackers because those don't taste good. They taste stale. Hey Pedro, is it Pedro? I'm gonna say Pedro because you got two E's. Make this sign the letter C and B with his hands. Make the sign. Okay, I'm not gonna do that, but okay. Hey, pal. What's going on? Just talking about protein this morning. I told y'all on Sundays I want to start talking to y'all about protein or nutrition in general, or not just juicing. So I'm giving a mix of both. I'm giving nutrition facts, and we're gonna juice today still. So we talked about breakfast, pancake, bacon, and eggs. So if you're trying to lose weight, normally depending on what your size is, I just always say depending on your size and also if you look at like the daily like intake, I think for men it's like 2,500 calories. For women the recommended daily intake is like 2,000. So depending on what your intake is supposed to be, I always say just decrease it by 500. Right, so let's just go with the regular daily calorie intake. So the daily calorie intake for a woman is 2,000. um I'm doing good, Papa. Thank you. It's a little rainy outside, but I'm still doing good. But if the daily recommendation for a woman is 2,000 calories, then to lose weight, remember, if we're trying to lose a pound per week, and that's not including working out. So if we're not including working out as our, part of our weight loss, we're doing 2,000 minus 500 be 1,500. Those 500 calories that we took away, times that by 7, that's 3,500 calories. And that's how many calories are in 1 pound. So then if we're trying to lose more than 1 pound, guess what? When you add that working out in, that's going to help you burn more calories. And it does give you a little bit of wiggle room to add a few more calories into your nutrition plan, but you don't want to neutral out those calorie burn with adding more calories burnt with more calories consumed. Um, so essentially, with us eating 414 calories, with what I just explained to y'all for my protein breakfast, I got some wiggle room still. I still got roughly a little less than 1,100 calories left. That's pretty good for lunch. And I think a lot of people stack. And the reason why that's good is because if you're full for breakfast it's gonna help you get throughout the day. I know a lot of y'all like, I'm gonna be super hungry when it comes down to dinner. No, because we're getting a good protein breakfast, what did I say? It helps us stay full. So you're not gonna want to stack your daily meals with just random items. You're gonna feel full, so you're not gonna need to binge for lunch and dinner. Hey, reluctant gamer, what's going on? Gibbs said, I'm 158 pounds, so I need 237 grams of protein. That's less. I might just start eating meat again. I don't know if you would need that much depending on what your it depends on what your goals are. Cause let's see. I think on the low end, give let's see, 158. Yeah, on the low end, you will only need 110. Point 0.7. But for the most part, I always tell people to just focus on their actual weight. You want to eat your weight in protein. So that would be 158 for you. Um, Let me find y'all chat. I lost y'all. Um, okay, it's raining over here. Be positive. Be good for the park where you have your workout. So yeah, it'll be overgrown grass, pow pow, when I get out there. But reluctant gamer, I'm just going over nutrition. So I'm doing nutrition and juicing today. So I started off just talking about what I eat for breakfast. This has been my go-to for the past like couple of weeks. I've been eating protein pancakes and I actually love it. I didn't think I would like it. I thought the taste wouldn't be that good because anything with a lot of protein in it, especially when it's like whey protein and all that, normally isn't that good to me. You're welcome, Gib. So I was just showing the type that I get, and also show that you can still get it with taste. Everybody knows Pearl Millings. Well, that's the new name for it, but everybody, kind of uses this brand, and it's a good brand, right? And so I want people to see that you can still have taste, but you do have to look at what it is you're trying to accomplish. Are we looking at calories, protein? There's some different things you have to look at. And a lot of times companies, if they're trying to sell you on one thing, it's because they're probably hiring something else. So like, but this one actually is pretty good. Normally when something is high in calories, like or low in calories, it's high in sugar or it's high in fat. But it depends on what's trending. At one point, everybody wanted a low fat snack, right? So it may be low fat, but then it may have something else that is higher in. It may be higher in sodium. But I feel like overall, when I looked at this, I do think the sodium, the only con I saw to this is sodium. Hey Teresa, what's going on? Um, so I think the only thing for me that I really had to pay attention to is the sodium. Sodium is a little, even though sodium can cause high cholesterol, blood pressure, um, you can flush it out as well. You can help your body flush it out by drinking a lot of water. But I'm not saying just go ham on the sodium. Sodium, I believe. Let me Google just so I make sure I'm telling y'all the accurate. Even though I think I already know the answer. Let's look at the sodium intake. So depending on age, of course, it's different. But if you have high blood pressure, you want to make sure you're not getting more than 1,500 per day. And if you have heart failure, no more than 1,000. But for like kids, 13 and below, it's 1,800 and it kind of goes down. I feel like for adults, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 a day. And I thought that was what it was gonna, but the optimal number is 1,500. Um, so let me come back to y'all. So yeah, it all depends on what your body is dealing with and what you have issues with. Like I said, for me, I'm trying to make sure I watch my sugar intake. So y'all, this is gonna be a hard month of August. Y'all know I love some sugar. But I have to, my body just has not been acting right, which is why I have what I'm going to juice today up here. It's nothing special, but it's what I need. So we're still going to talk about it. I'm explaining it all to y'all. But to close out the protein breakfast, there's other things you can do for protein. Okay, so if you don't like pancakes and you don't want to do the typical pancakes, eggs, and bacon, You can do a protein smoothie plus fruit and milk, which don't like a protein shake. I mean, if you don't want to make it yourself, you can do tropical smoothie. And then you can order stuff like that from there. But that's going to give you about 25 to 30 grams. So ideally, you would have to look at the calories for this because remember, if we're trying to lose weight, you still don't want to go over your calorie number. But it honestly might not be a bad snack to have. You have this smoothie every day. No, I don't do a smoothie. I do regular pancakes, eggs, and bacon. But I'm trying to give ideas for if people don't want to cook every morning like an actual breakfast. Other things you can do, which would be you can do a smoothie. And a smoothie is something you can make the night before, put it in the refrigerator, grab and go. So a smoothie is just another option. I like to eat my food, so I don't like to do smoothies all the time. So no, I don't do smoothies. I actually make my breakfast in the morning. You can also do oats and peanut butter plus a protein powder, and that's also going to give you between 20 to 30 grams. The peanut butter you have to be mindful of because that is a fat, so you have to watch that. And where's Dante when you need him? For y'all who are big on cottage cheese, which I don't, ugh, gross. But for those of you who love cottage cheese, you can do cottage cheese, fruit, and nuts, and that'll give you about 27.5 grams of protein if you do it based off of the serving size. Um, another option you can do is you can just do two hard-boiled eggs and a protein bar, and that'll give you 27 to 32 grams. Remember, the eggs alone are going to give you 6 grams each. So if you're doing two, that's going to give you 12 grams. And then, of course, the protein bar, um, you can find different ones that can offer a good amount of protein. My breakfast is a mess. I just take an espresso coffee without sugar in a small cup. It's like so yeah, you're not getting anything out of that but caffeine, really. Um, you're not getting really any macros, and that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people drink coffee and they'll just and grab a muffin and they'll just wait until lunch because they have that's incorporated into their day. They have a lunch break, but no one really has time to eat breakfast the way they're supposed to. And I think that's where a lot of people are hurting themselves is because between lunch is normally like, oh, I'm just gonna run to this quick restaurant, fast food. You have to do something convenient because you only have like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So now we're picking things that are fast. I have an apple with peanut butter when I'm not hungry in the morning. Okay, I think it's another thing. A lot of times people are not hungry in the morning, and I think that throws them off because sometimes I'm not hungry in the morning. So I do find myself eating later in the day, and that's why I like having my juices because I'm at least able to get something out of this. It may not be necessarily the protein, but I am getting some nutrition dense, benefits from it. So in the morning, I will do my juicing. I'll drink my juice, and it's really not until I'll probably say after I work out that I eat my breakfast. To be honest, I know I can eat breakfast any time of the day. To be honest with you, um, I don't like until 2 p.m. Yeah, and that's the same for a lot of people. Pop out. A lot of people don't like eating real food till lunchtime, um, and just because you're on the go in the morning. Yeah, that's more nutritional. So I definitely get it. So yeah, ain't no judgment on my part because I'm definitely not the best at eating breakfast at breakfast time. I eat it, just not always at breakfast time. Overall, I will say it's about how many calories you eat in a day and how much of your macros you get. I don't think there's a certain time that you necessarily have to eat as long as you're doing what you need to do in the 24 hours and you're giving your body time to digest it. Remember, I told y'all don't wait until dinner time when you're off of work and now you have time to cook to want to throw all your calories into that meal. Only because I told y'all you don't want to just throw that all on your body that late at night, right? It's better to eat early in the day while you're still moving because you're able to burn that off a little bit. Um, and your body's focus at night is healing and recovery. So once again, we don't want to wait till super late, right? And what I mean by that is when we're getting ready to go to sleep. Some people they work at night, so it's different. What I'm trying to say is if you're going to sleep around 10, 11 o'clock, we don't want to wait till 8, 9 o'clock to throw a big dinner because it's like, oh, I'm home from work, I can finally cook. I'm gonna do this. It's like, no, don't eat a big dinner. So that's why, to give people guidance, I try to say get your breakfast in early in the morning. It helps you feel full throughout the day, and then you're able to split your meals up and your calories up properly, so your body doesn't feel pressed to get it all digest at dinner. Um, so yeah, that was my hint of nutrition for that. Um, and I gave y'all some protein tips. So when y'all say, LJ, how you get your arms looking like that? LJ, how you get your abs like that? LJ, just know I'm getting my protein in, right? On top of my working out, I'm maintaining my calories. I'm not overeating. I do keep my meals balanced. So, but for the month of August, y'all might see a change in my physique because I am decreasing sugar. Sugar will change your body tremendously. I don't think people understand that. Sugar is a game changer and salt is a game changer because salt, you hold water weight. So, we can go into that another day. But as far as the nutrition side of the house, talking about meals, today's focus was breakfast. Trying to plug my juicer in. So now we're going to move to juicing. We're going to get that pancake mix out of here. We're going to move to juicing. So I don't know if it's been, what I ate this weekend, which I don't feel like I ate anything bad. My body just does a really poor job of digesting. Part of that is because I do have endometriosis and it does grow on my intestines. And so I feel like it makes it hard for the food to break down and get through there. So a lot of times it feels stuck in my gut. And I feel very heavy. I feel like my hormones are all over the place. And it's just not a good day. So as y'all know, green juice is normally a good juice to have when you're trying to detox and you're trying to do good gut health. And the reason for that is because a lot of our greens have a lot of fiber in it. So let's go through our juice for today. We kind of talked about this last week a little bit. The good thing and you don't have to, when it comes to green juice, you don't have to buy a lot of it, which I love. I think this came out to be, I know it was less than $10. So we need an intro, the jingle, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode. Right? I need to come up with something. I used to have a intro to my YouTube channel. And I just felt like, don't people get tired of seeing the same intro over and over? Don't they kind of just want you to get to it? So I stopped using my intro. But if you look at some of my old videos, you'll see where I had a whole intro to some of my long form videos. But the good thing about using these fruits and veggies, or excuse me, well, mainly the veggies, I only got one fruit up here. The good thing about using these veggies is that I told you when it comes to juicing, the main thing you're looking for is volume, especially if what you're juicing already provides a lot of benefits. So, like, the darker it is, normally the better. So, let's start with the cucumbers, for instance. Cucumbers are good for hydrating. And I really feel like that's part of the reason why they help with your digestive system, your gut health, is because, like I told y'all before, a lot of the pills you take, what they do is pull water from your body to your intestine because that's, I guess, to help break it down a little more. And so I realized if you just drink water, that helps. So anytime I'm starting to feel kind of constipated, bloated, backed up, I do tend to try to drink a lot of water. And I do, after a little bit, I do start to feel better. And so I also know that I need to start getting my veggies in, getting those benefits, which I already know cucumbers, hydration, they're low calories. If you're trying to lose weight, these are a good low cal snack as well. It's smooth digestion and also it relieves bad breath. So if you had bad breath, might want to get you some cucumbers. So we're going to juice these first. Yeah, I think that's enough right there. Remember, like I said, these already produce a good amount of volume. So I should get a good amount of juice from this. Let's go. Now, the interesting thing about this juice today that's different from the other times I've juiced is normally I have at least two fruits to help break up the veggie taste. I mean, I don't really like veggies like that, to be honest. I'm no different from anybody else. Just because I'm in the fitness world does not mean I like everything healthy. Um, so I normally have at least two fruits up here, and they're normally fruits are a little higher in sugar, like pineapple. Today I just went with the Granny Smith apple. So we're gonna see how this works. So I'm going a little more of your typical green juice, healthy. But yeah, my stomach just been, I have not been feeling good, y'all. So yeah, we gotta hit it. We got spinach right here. So this is spinach. Spinach has vitamin A, C, and K. And then it also has folate and iron, magnesium, and potassium. So you know, if my ladies out there, if you're trying to get pregnant, spinach is a good thing to eat. Or if you're anemic and you take iron pills, spinach is also good to take in because it'll help with absorption. So we're gonna take a handful of this, throw it in here. So this juice is probably gonna be like a darker green. Which I like. The celery is gonna, lighten it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and hit this spinach. I definitely like eating spinach. I will say that when it comes to like Taco Tuesday and stuff like that, instead of using lettuce, I would recommend using spinach. Kale, if you get down like that, I don't think kale has a very like it's like no taste, but taste at the same time. I don't know how to make it make sense, but I don't like eating kale on everything. Um, but spinach is definitely good to do with your tacos. I think it balances out the taste, especially if you're using like the sauce. I want to make sure I get a good amount of spinach in here. Get some of these ends. Yes, celery is definitely something I can do on its own. So let me juice the spinach. I may have to add some more cucumbers because I feel like they're gonna get wasted if I don't add it now. So I'm not adding too many. So I'm not adding too many different ingredients. Okay, so we're gonna do the cucumbers and then we're gonna move to the celery. Okay, so now we're gonna move to the celery. Y'all already know celery has antioxidants in it, anti-inflammatory. So y'all already know. I don't know why I don't eat more celery because it does have a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So y'all know that's my one thing I deal with a lot. Um, Improved digestion. So once again, part of that also comes from the fact that it is good with hydration. So it is, water based. And then it also has vitamin K. I went over all the different vitamins, vitamin A, C, K. I think I went over B. I was hitting a lot of them last week. So hit that video up if you want to know more about your different vitamins and what they offer because they all have a different need. Your different vitamins are almost like your macros. They all affect the body in a different way. Now we're going to add some good old celery. So to get my sweetness out of this, because we've used cucumber, spinach, and celery now, I need something with some sweetness. So now we're gonna go to the Granny Smith apple. I've always loved Granny Smith since I was like in elementary school. These provide fiber, vitamin C, and A. It improves digestion as well. It's a prebiotic. So you have your pro and your pre. So this basically feeds it's beneficial for your gut bacteria. So it feeds that good gut bacteria. You have your good and your bad, and this is going to promote that good gut health bacteria. So, and that's what I need. That's exactly what I need. Hmm. I don't know why I chose to put apples on the one setting. With how thick these are, that one setting was like, baby, we not gonna be able to cut this down. Once I move it over to two, that's when it got a little better. Um, they say a doctor a day, what? Keep the doctor away. So, mm, mm, mm. Limes prevent kidney stones and they enhance your iron absorption. Y'all know I get iron infusions. Um, I need to get my iron checked again because I haven't had iron infusion in quite some time. And so, because my body was not reacting well to the iron pills, I need to make sure because I prefer to use both iron pills and get the iron infusions. But yeah, no, the iron pills can constipate you. So yeah, I already had that issue alone without them. So yeah, I don't need it to help it. So now we're gonna we're gonna add some lime juice. Hopefully that gives the taste a little bit. Um, yeah, I know I always just squeeze it in there. So I'm using half a lime. That was a good squeeze, y'all. And then I'm gonna add some ginger. Y'all already know ginger root is like a staple that I'm always gonna put in all my juices. I'm getting up ASMR. Um, Ginger root is always good. Like I don't think I will ever go with juicing without using. I may forget my lemon or my lime, but ginger root because y'all know it has so many benefits. It eases your indigestion. It has anti-inflammatory properties, which y'all already know. That's what I'm big on. Pain relief, bloating, muscle soreness, like nausea. What can ginger root not help? So let's put the ginger root in here. And remember, you don't need a lot of ginger root. Unless you like a lot of spice, the ginger root is going to take over your drink. So don't put a lot in there. Put enough in there to just, have a slight taste. I never thought about doing the ASMR. I also told you I do ginger shots, and I think ginger can last about between a week and 2 weeks if it's in the refrigerator. It doesn't last as long when it's on the counter, but yeah. So the thing about this juice that's going to be different from my other green juice is that I didn't use as many fruits. So it might have a different taste. We'll see. I think it's going to be good regardless because I make magic happen. But let's see. I'm going to pour it in front of y'all. Your girl is good when it comes to her measuring. Like, I'm just amazing. The juice has cheaper ingredients, but it's super healthy. I like that a lot. Right? I think that's what amazed me because I'm like, anytime I go to the farmers market or anytime I've ever tried a juice before, it costs anywhere between 50 $15 and $20 for me to, and there were a couple of items. Um, measuring is the best. um, there were a couple of other green veggies that I thought about getting, like kale, but kale was a little more expensive. Anything that's by the pound versus each, I rather just know my price versus trying to weigh it and all that. Eric looks delicious and nutritious. Hey, Eric, welcome to the chat. Thank you for engaging. Um, we gonna see how it tastes, y'all. We gonna see how it tastes. Like I said, I use less fruit, so y'all know normally that's what makes me happy is the fruit. I think one of my best juices came because it was just nothing but fruit. So you had that natural sugar. This time, all we got to add, to help is the lime, you know, and some apple. So we'll see how this tastes. Let's see. Let's see. Y'all know, even though I'm a good actor, I ain't gonna fake it. It don't really have a taste, y'all. um. So yeah, this is bearable. I can definitely drink this with it being considering it is mostly veggies. It don't really have a taste though, to be honest. I don't know. I don't even taste. Let me maybe I need to add some more ginger root. 'Cause I don't even taste the ginger root, which that's a surprise to me. Normally I can taste the ginger root. Let me add some more. I don't really taste anything. Like it really tastes like nothing. Like I almost feel like I went outside and got a blade of grass, and that's what it would taste like. It's not disgusting. It's just like, okay, this ain't got no taste. I was expecting to taste something. So it wasn't so much that it was nasty. It's like, man, that didn't give me nothing. I think what I taste is celery. I still don't taste the ginger root, which maybe that's a good thing. Maybe not tasting the ginger root is good. I just was expecting more of like well, for one, I was expecting it to be nasty, but it's not. There's like no taste. So that's why my face kind of gave off like, oh, okay. But no, it's not bad at all. I definitely would drink this throughout the week. Yeah, I already told y'all that when I juice throughout the week, if I put it in the refrigerator, the coldness of it normally tastes better. Like the colder it is, the better. So yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna drink that. I definitely think it's gonna help with my gut health. So yeah, but it's not bad at all. Y'all know normally when I use ginger root, I normally can taste the ginger. I tell y'all that all the time. Like, oh, that's spicy. I just added two pieces and still didn't taste it. So that celery, I think, is what's taking over most of the taste. Um, what about some mint leaves or fresh basil leaves? Maybe the taste will be more fresh. I thought about I saw those as well. I'm not really a big mint person though. Like if it's not gum, I don't want that minty taste. So, but I guess the mint leaves will probably help with your breath, just like the cucumbers. Um, but you can't really go wrong with green juice, right? You can't go wrong with something that's healthy. Everybody knows that when you eat your meals, you should have some type of leafy green on there. The darker the color, the more nutritional benefits it provides you. So this actually isn't bad at all. Yeah, my face was more so out of face of a disappointment because I think I had built myself up for being like, yeah, this ain't gonna taste good, all these veggies. But when it came out neutral tasting, I'm like, oh. So once again, we use cucumber, spinach, celery, Granny Smith apple, lime, and ginger root. The lime also, I think, might have helped a little bit. Um, yeah, but Papa, I'm trying to stay away from using a lot of fruit though. Remember, that's the reason why I went back to juicing green, is because my gut is giving me issues, and so I wanted something that would help with the fiber and my digestive system. And because I'm also trying to reduce my sugar with my stage 4 endometriosis, I feel like as of late, um, I think because I've made so many sacrifices already in my life when it comes to this disease that I'm like, I'm not giving up sugar too. I gotta have something. But I do, I already know that sugar and what it does to the body. And so I'm like, okay, even though I've already decreased my sugar intake a lot from what it used to be, I need to bring it down even more. Um, Lost Tribe. When I was a juicer, I would buy every green produce at the grocery store and then blend it together. So how much would that cost on average? Cause the main thing I try to show is how to juice while not balling. We're gonna ball on a budget. And I just feel like when I looked at the prices of like kale, what else did I see up there? It was some other veggies that were by the pound. I'm just like, that's a lot per pound. Especially if you're trying to juice for the whole week. I just like get very expensive. Especially when you're looking at this as being an added source to your meal plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to make sure it's friendly for everybody that they're not spending over $20 when they're juicing. This came out to maybe be about 10, and I don't think you need a lot of ingredients to get the nutritional benefits, right? I've already told y'all this gave A, C, K, folate, magnesium, potassium. We got the limes that help with kidney stones. We had iron absorption. We had the ginger root that has so many benefits. So I really feel like it don't take a lot of ingredients, especially when it comes to your green fruits and veggies. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients to get what you need from it. That's why I say you have to be mindful of what it is you're aiming for. My main thing was I wanted the fiber and the anti-inflammatory properties. That is a must when it comes to me juicing. It's always the inflammation, and because I was feeling very, very, very inflamed and just bloated, and I just feel like my digestive less than 60, but it would last for the week in mason jars. But $60 a week? So you're spending 240 a month just on juicing? Well, okay, you said less than 60, so we just say 50. So you're spending $200 just on juicing? Ugh. And that's just for you, isn't it? So that would be $200 for one person. But then you're not even getting your macros. So like, where did your protein? So you still got to think. I spend $200 a month just on juicing. For me, I probably spend about at most between $60 and $80 for the whole month. But you're doing that a week. Okay, shout out to you and your wallet. Okay, take me with you next time you go to the farmers market, Sprouts. You know, yeah. Because I already told y'all my pancake mix already cost $6. I try to eat on a budget. Um, I don't know. That's good for you to spend that much on juicing. But I will say, yeah, your green juice will be probably the lower cost because even like for grapes, pow, I think even if I would have got grapes probably cost anywhere between four. I feel like around roughly $4 or more. Um, yeah, I was trying to think if there's any other veggies that I looked at and I was like, no, not for that price. And then you also got to look at organic versus, your regular fruits and veggies. I don't think there's that big of a difference. I mean, yes and no. Maybe when it comes to like certain things like your meats and how the animals are fed, but when it comes to our fruits and veggies, I don't know if I see as big of a difference with the organic versus non. Y'all let me know if I have some experts out there when it comes to fruits and veggies, organic versus not being organic. Let me know. Wow, $60. Maybe I had to become a farmer, right? We got to become farmers on our own because that's a lot. Because I really see this as just that juice. Yeah, that was just May green juice, not food and the other juices. Yeah, it got pretty expensive after a while. I can only imagine. Like when I first started juicing, when you think about it on a weekly basis, you're like, oh, okay, $20 isn't that bad, right? But when you start looking at it on a monthly basis, that's not, I had to just take a step back and say, okay, Sean, well, Y'all, my family calls me Shonda. Y'all call me LJ. But I was like, okay, is this really what I want to spend my money on a month? Is juice? And that's what we have to understand our priorities. It's the nutritional benefits that I was gaining. And I think I was losing sight because I was getting so focused on the money side of it that I was losing the idea that it's actually, yeah, it's worth the money to eat fruits and veggies. Organic banana is kind of worth it taste wise, but the rest, no. Okay, that's good to know. I don't really like bananas. If I get an acai bowl, I'll eat bananas, but I'm really big about texture for some reason. Like I've gotten worse when it comes to texture and the way things feel. And I just don't like that mushy feel of the banana. Mm-mm. So no, I don't really eat bananas to begin with. Well, LJ in Italy and almost Oregon, I usually buy fruit and veggies straight from farmers who come in the city to sell their products. And the smell, the taste, and texture is great. Okay. And I think that's why I like going to the farmers market is because I do feel like I get a sense. I see the difference in how the fruits and veggies taken care of. Um, I feel like the workers there maintain the fruits and veggies pretty well. So I will say I do think going to like a Sprouts or a farmers market are better choices than like a Kroger or Publix or just a regular commercial like regular box grocery store like a even Walmart. Um, Even the meats when I go to the farmers market look very fresh. I've never bought meat from the farmers market because I don't really do a lot of meat. The most I do is like, I'll do my fish and then but I don't like buying the fish fresh because I don't really like to eat it right away. And I know I can freeze it, but no, I'd rather buy the frozen fish already because yeah, I'll keep fish in the freezer for quite some time. Yeah, for example, if I fruit to the supermarket, the fruit don't have taste, it gets in my it gets on my nerves. Well, I just think it's I don't know. Cause I mean, mind you, I got these fruits and veggies from Kroger. I decided to go to Kroger just because I knew I was gonna be using basic fruits and veggies versus wanting to get like something that's not sold everywhere. So I knew that was gonna be a little different. So I didn't mind getting it from Kroger, but I do feel like there's a fresher feel to fruits and veggies that are brought from like a farmer's market or like a Sprouts than like a Kroger. But I love me good Kroger. They have a lot of different deals. So once again, y'all, when it comes to eating fruits and veggies and juicing, you just have to look at what you're trying to work on, especially when it comes to cost. If it's based off of cost, I would definitely say stick with your greens. Um, and even some of your fruits are gonna be very expensive. So make sure you just kind of try to balance it out between your fruits and veggies. And I also tell people if you can drink alcohol, you can drink this. You can drink a juice that doesn't have that much taste, right? We take shots to the head all the time and it's disgusting. So just imagine it's a shot of alcohol and get it down, okay? But at least you're getting more benefits from it. Usually I buy supermarket only exotic fruit like coconut, bananas, mangoes, and so on. Yeah. So that's the main reason why I like going to the decaf farmers market and Sprouts. More so when I'm trying to get something a little more exotic. Um, okay, y'all, let me talk to y'all about the week. So for the rest of the week, so Monday, y'all already know arms and back. I feel like I'm starting to see a difference in my arms. So if you're trying to get a good arm workout, join me tomorrow at 11:30 on Monday. We're walking it out on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're stretching. Um, so y'all, I did leg day. I went to the gym yesterday. I feel like a kid in a candy store when I go to the gym. It's just so much equipment and so much you can do that I couldn't figure out my workout. So, but yesterday I did do leg day. I know I'm on my leg journey. I'm trying to get these legs right because my upper body tones a lot faster and is leaner. I tend to go towards lifting core up or working on that. So now I'm trying to focus on waist down. So yesterday I did do leg day. It was pretty good. I did leg extensions, leg curls, glute push back. I did do some sprints. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna post that on my social media. I recognize good meat in the States too, especially Argentina. Beef is great over there. So I don't really know much when it comes to the meats. Y'all see how the drink is starting to break down? And that's, you can see where normally when the drinks break down like that, that means that fruit or veggie had a lot of water in it. So you can start seeing where it's starting to separate. So, okay, what else do I have for y'all? So we talked about nutrition today. Next week or next Sunday, I'm going to hit the same thing, just not, it will focus on lunch and dinner. We'll focus on, I'll see how much information I have for lunch ideas. And I might have to break it up for lunch next week and dinner the next. But the main thing I want to start doing is giving y'all ideas of what to eat, because I think that's the problem most people have. They're like, well, I don't know what to eat from day to day. So Sundays are going to be for nutrition and also for juicing. Okay. We're going to talk more about how to get protein in. We've hit protein for breakfast. Now we're going to hit protein for lunch. And eventually I'll give y'all some protein snack ideas, because I think that's where y'all really need the most. Well, not y'all necessarily on the chat, but people in general need help with is how to get protein with their snacks. We can't just go to the gas station and grab a bag of chips, grab an icy or a candy bar. We need to start, being more intentional about what we're grabbing and why, especially as we get older. But yeah, y'all. So that concludes today. Meet me tomorrow, 11:30, so we can get these arms and back going. But yeah, green juice. I'll let y'all know if I'm feeling better tomorrow. Cause yeah, this ain't right. I feel so stuffed right now. I've been getting discouraged from buying fruit because it's hit or miss finding tasty fruit. I think that's another reason why I had slowed down on buying fruits and veggies, because I just felt like it was losing its, I ain't gonna say taste, but I don't know, this wasn't hitting. So I didn't want to keep spending money like that. So I think that's what I think that's another thing I'm gonna start focusing on, is not only exotic fruits and veggies, but trying to show y'all fruits and veggies that are cheaper. That way, you can ball on a budget. But all right, y'all, it's been real. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm glad y'all got to see me juice and we got to talk about nutrition. That's something I'm trying to get used to doing. So I hope I did a good job of talking to y'all about protein for breakfast. I will see you all tomorrow, 11:30. Beat me here, okay? Don't meet me there. Beat me, 11:30. We're doing arms and back. All right? All right, Gil, Pow Pow, Reluctant Gamer, uh, Lost Tribe. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Teresa. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. See y'all tomorrow.